Hello friends, welcome back to Belle's Library. Today we are going to be playing Belle's Bookland for my May TBR. I always enjoy doing this every month, and so we're back again to build up my TBR. I have a lot of different ideas of what I would like to get on this TBR, but you know, we'll see how it goes. Before we jump into all of that goodness though, if you haven't already, please get down below and click subscribe. I'd love to have you here so we can talk books. It's just wonderful building this little community, and I'm getting really close to 1,000, so I'm super excited and I'm hoping to get there. I hope you guys will stick around and reach that milestone with me. Also, I do have my Goodreads, my Instagram, and my Storygraph link down below if you want to chit chat with me and follow me over on any of those platforms. Go ahead and follow those links real fast, and then we'll jump into all of the fun stuff. So for the month of May, first we'll go ahead and run through how my April TBR went, see if I'm going to be taking any punishments. Spoiler, it's a little rough, guys. It is a little rough. April has not been the greatest month for me as far as reading goes, so we'll talk about that in a minute. And then, of course, we will have our May rolls and what I'm going to be reading for the month of May, and hopefully that is going to go beautifully. I did decide to sit outside today because it's just gorgeous. It's in the 70s today. I'm sure you can hear there's a slight breeze, so we got some wind chimes and birds going on. So hopefully that's not too distracting for you guys, but I just wanted to get outside. I adore being out here, and, you know, sitting out here filming is kind of a fun change sometimes, so that's where we're hanging out. So I've got my rolls. I'll throw in between the books that we're picking, but this is where we're at right now. So let's go ahead and talk our way through April. The first book that I had on my TBR in April was The Gallery of Unfinished Girls, and I did not read that. I'm hoping to get to it in May because it's still one that I'm trying to read for a video. I didn't quite squeeze it in the month of April. It just didn't happen. The next one up that I had was The Astonishing Color of After by Emily X.R. Pan, and I am about 25% into this one, so I'm not gonna count that as a punishment, but hopefully I'll be able to finish at least most of it before the end of the month. Then I had the Bromance book club that I was reading for the month, and this one I am also in middle of. I think I'm probably like halfway into it, and I'm listening to it on audiobook, and I actually work the next couple days, and I usually listen to it on my drive back and forth, so I should be able to finish that one up before the end of April here. And then the next one after that was The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers, and I actually have finished that one, so this is the first book so far that I've actually finished for the month, which is really bad. I usually am so good about finishing all of my Bookland books, and I feel like this year I've been struggling a little bit, and I usually have like one hanging out that I didn't finish, but this one, it was a rough month, you guys. So the next pick that I had was Hide by Kirsten White, and I still need to read this one. It's an arc that's coming out in May. I was hoping to get to, but I haven't yet, so it'll have to happen in May. It just is, it's gonna have to, okay? So that one also did not read. Then we had Star Daughter by Shweta Thakkar. I didn't read this one either. Yeah, I really need to get to this one too. It's on my self-destruct books, and those are coming up due here pretty soon, so, you know, hopefully I'll read it really soon here. And then the last book that I had on my list was Catherine House, and I actually did read this one as well. So I finished 2 books. I'm in middle of 2 books, and I did not finish 3 books. Is that right? 1, 2, 3. Yes, 3 of the books I did not finish, but I'm not going to take 3 punishments, you guys. I just can't. April, for me, I just wasn't super feeling the mood to read, and I think a part of that was I'm kind of transitioning in life right now. We are working on buying a house. I just started a new job. There's just a lot going on in my life, and sometimes when I get like overwhelmed and stressed with that stuff, I just can't focus on reading, and I think that's kind of what happened in April. Hopefully the first week of May I'm actually going to be moving into my house, and then hopefully things will start settling and it'll be good, but I don't want to like punish myself because life is happening. So I'm going to give myself one punishment card for all of those and call it good there, because I don't want to overwhelm myself right now. I am already juggling and trying to balance a few things and just figure out some stuff. So that's kind of where we're at with that right now. And then we're going to go ahead and just jump into May's rolls and see how that goes. And then we'll pull my punishment card at the end. All right, guys, it is time for roll number 1. Here we go. Let's see how we're going to start out. Well, that's not too bad. We got a 16. I'll take it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And we got a romance. So for roll number 1, we got a romance, which light, fluffy romances I am totally down for this month. It just is something that's easy for me to get through, and I've been really enjoying listening to them in my car ride back and forth from work. It's been wonderful. So I'm going to do Yerba Buena by Nina Lacour. This is actually her debut adult novel. She's mainly done YA, but I've really enjoyed the ones that I have read by her quite a bit. So I'm excited to see how this one goes. I have the audiobook in a NetGalley arc for the audiobook part of it. And so I would like to read that one and get a review up this next month, because the audiobook releases in May. I think the actual physical book's already out. So this one, from what I know, like, we have these two women. They're both kind of from different backgrounds. One's running from a past in like her small town that she just wanted to get away from, and she works in this like bar, I think, as a bartender. And then she runs into this other girl who lives a more privileged life, I believe, and the two of them kind of bond, but then some stuff starts coming out from their past and secrets, and like, they're not quite meshing. They have to figure out how to make their lives at work with all these new secrets coming out about each other and whatnot. I don't know. I know that Nina Lacour does a great job with her writing. I think it's beautiful, and I really love her character work and relationships, and she always has some deeper meaning in her stories that's just super impactful. So I'm really excited to see how this one goes and bring you guys a review for it. So it's going to be happening in May, so that's the one I'm throwing in here. And it does say it's more of a romance. I know a lot of the books I've read by her so far have leaned a little more contemporary, but the tagline says this one's a romance, so we will see. All right, and roll number 2. Here it is. Let's keep this moving. Oh, or not. We got a 1. So that's going to be one of our special squares. So let's see what our top card is. So it's going to be to read a book of the month book. I put this in here so that I could get through some of those. All right, so I really want to read my book of the month books. So that's where this prompt kind of got thrown in here. So I would read more of those because I don't want to be spending money on a service that I'm not reading the books from. And I actually am doing pretty well. I only have a few books that I haven't read yet on my shelves, so that's awesome. But I'm also going to hold out choosing for sure a book for this prompt, because I want to see what May's picks are, because I think there's going to be some really good ones, because there's a lot of really fun releases coming out in May, and I'm anticipating something that I'm probably going to want to read that one. I think maybe we're going to get Emily Henry's new book, because hers usually come up, but I've seen a couple other like suggestions from people that might be coming around that I've been like, oh, that might be good. So I'm going to wait and say that most likely my May pick for book of the month is going to be the one that I read. But if for whatever reason I look at May's selections and I decide to skip and I'm not interested, I do have a couple other options from my book shelves that I'm going to go with. So I'm either going to do Girl, Serpent, Thorn. I think this one is a Sleeping Beauty retelling where we're following this princess who has like a poisonous touch, so she stays in a tower, something like that. And then I also have the X-Hex, which I kind of want to save this one until it's more like witchy season, but at the same time, like, I kind of want to read it. And this one's like a romance with this witch, and she like puts a spell on this guy after they break up and doesn't think that anything's going to happen from it, but then he comes back to town like years later and they reconnect, and the spell kind of like starts making mayhem. So that's my general understanding of these two. So I might be reading one of these, but most likely I'm going to pick my May book up. And number 3, let's see what we got. Okay, so that time we got an 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that'll be a mystery or thriller book. All right, so we got a mystery thriller. For this one, I am going to actually read A Line in the Dark by Melinda Lowe. So this one is not very well rated on Goodreads, but I've enjoyed Melinda Lowe's other book that I read. It was more of a contemporary historical fiction. Can't think of the name right now. I'll put it up for you guys. But this one's more of in a mystery thriller vein where we're following this girl and her best friend is Angie. I think the girl's name's Jess. But Angie starts hanging out with this other girl and like develops this crush on her, and then some secrets and weird stuff starts coming out about, I think, the new girl. But I'm also kind of wondering if Jess is really the one that's like going to be creeper status. Anyways, it's going to be some kind of mystery thriller with these 3 girls, and that's about all I got. I'm pretty sure it's going to be queer, so we'll see. It's kind of like one of those books that I've heard is kind of a weird book, and so I have been kind of enjoying delving into some weird book recommendations to see what I like in that area, so I'm excited to see kind of where this one goes. Next up, let's see what we get. Okay, we rolled an 8, whichever direction that's supposed to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a horror novel, plus we have to add in a prompt as well. So use color generator for the cover. All right. Okay, so we got horror, plus we're going to do a random color generator for the cover of the book. So I pulled up a random color generator. So this one just like popped up. So we won't do this one, but I'm going to press generate, and whatever the next color is, that's what we're going with. Okay, signal white. Like it literally just blends in with the background of this. So, but a white background on a horror novel. I think we can figure that out. All right, so I'm going to go with Sawkill Girls by Claire Legrand. There's like a little bit of white. There's like these white moths and then like a little bit of white in the background and the author's name's in white. So we're going to go with that. I don't really know that I know a ton about this. I just remember being intrigued, and I think it's kind of falls into that weird area. It says, beware of the woods and the dark dainty. He'll follow you home and he won't let you sleep. Oh, okay. So we got Marion, who's the new girl, Zoe, the pariah, Val, the queen bee. Their stories come together on the island of Sawkill Rock, where gleaming horses graze in rolling pastures and cold waves crash against black cliffs. So, yeah, apparently there's going to be some girls in there. They're going to be out on this area. I'm going to say there's going to be some drama and some crazy things happening out there. We shall see. So that's going to be the pick there. And here's roll number 5. That's better. That's an 18. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And another mystery thriller. All right, and then we got another mystery thriller. So I actually had a mystery thriller from last month that I did not finish that I'm going to throw in here because I told you guys I'm going to try and read it in May because it's coming out in May. And that is my Arc for Hyde by Kirsten White. This is about this girl who, like, basically, like, this group of people, they're supposed to go and stay in this abandoned amusement park, and all they have to do is, like, survive the night, and then they win, like, a bunch of money, I think. I think that's what's going on there. So basically this girl's like, oh, I'm really good at hiding. I'm just going to find a good spot and like bury in, but things do not go quite as well as she thought. And so I'm assuming we're going to be kind of hiding with her. And I'm really just intrigued and curious about like the idea of this. And so that's what I'm going to throw into this one. And then let's see if we have another roll, because I think we're getting close to the end here. Sorry, we kind of slid away there, but we're back on track, and let's see where we get to. So we got a 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we are done with those rolls. This wind is starting to pick up, and it's kind of killing me a little bit. I'm really hoping it's not coming through on the audio. I'm like trying to block the microphone a little bit here. Anyways, so we're done with the rolls, so let's go ahead and pull a punishment card and see what prompt we get for that. Okay, so we're going to be reading a book with over 500 pages. Okay, well that's easy enough because right now I am trying to read once a month a book that's over 600 pages as a part of my big book project. So I will link the playlist for you guys up top and down below of the 2 books I've done so far. I've been doing spoiler vlogs for all of my big books. So I've done 2 of them, and so we'll do the next one. I'm thinking this month I would really like to read Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha... I want to say Samantha Downing, but that's totally not the author. Maybe it's Shannon. It's going to be here for you guys. What I do know about this one is it is very long, and it is about a city-state, that empire that survives through a queendom, which is awesome because you do not get enough queendoms, I feel like, in fantasy. So I'm really excited about that. There's also dragons in there, and I think the queendom's being threatened by somebody, some other sorceress or something. So we got some magical elements in there too. I don't know. It sounds fantastic. I'm all dragons, queendom, magic. Yes, give me all of that. I've heard great things, and it's a standalone, so I'm not getting myself mixed into more series that I cannot finish. So that's promising as well. So I think that's what we're going to throw in here, and I will be doing a spoiler vlog of that one, so you can keep an eye out for that if you want to, or you can go back and watch some of the other vlogs I've done so far for this. And I think that's going to wrap everything up. So we ended up with 6 books, I think, on the TBR, which is good, and I think most of those books I was kind of wanting to read this month anyways, so hopefully everything works out beautifully and life can settle out a little bit so I can get back into my reading groove, and it'll be all beautiful. And oh, look, little Mr. Timmy decided to come and cuddle. Say bye, Tims. If you guys made it to the end here, definitely let me know what you guys are reading in the month of May, or I would love to hear about new releases that you're excited for this month. I feel like there's quite a few, and I want to know what you guys are going to be excited to be reading. So let me know down below. If you don't feel like chit-chatting that much, then leave me a little doggy emoji to say hi to Timmy. So I will talk to you guys soon. I hope you guys have a wonderful May. Bye, guys.